This weekend's fight, DraftKings is offering all customers a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes. If you haven't tried it yet, Fantasy MMA is easy to play. Just pick 6 fighters, stay under the salary cap, and pile up points for advances, takedowns, and more. There's no better way to put your MMA knowledge to the test than to compete for a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, so you can deposit and withdraw your funds at your convenience. It's the McGregor versus Poirier rubber match. Get in on the action now. Download the DraftKings app and use promo code PLAY for your shot at millions of dollars in total prizes throughout the week. That's promo code PLAY to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes only at DraftKings. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
It's the Keith Byars Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, right here on Dayton's home of the Buckeyes, 1410 ESPN Radio. He's a former Buckeyes great and now a college football Hall of Famer.
Look at you go! He simply runs out of his shoe. He's running so fast.
And don't forget about his 13 years of NFL experience playing for the Eagles, Dolphins, Jets, and the New England Patriots.
Watch for the great block by Keith Byars on Pepper Johnson. Bam! Right there. Byars just failed.
He's Dayton's own Keith Byars. It's the Keith Byars Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken on Dayton's home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, 1410 ESPN Radio.
Welcome. You listen to the Keith Byars Radio Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. Phone number to call is 937-457-9464. Again, 937-457-9464 is the number. You can call with your questions, comments, or concerns. We're going to talk about sports, and you can also hit me on Twitter also at KAB41. It's my Twitter handle, so you can get me on the various platforms, and I'll respond to you. But right now, this is my radio show. I like to talk about a lot of things in the sports and locally. And sometimes I have a tendency to forget about the local things, things that are close and near and dear to us, at home. So I'm going to make sure I talk about that before the show is over with. And I'm going to talk about, you parents. During the summertime, you're getting out and supporting your sons and daughters and all the youth sports that they participate in, and the long-term effects of that. So that's what I'm going to talk about. That it's not a bad thing; it's a positive thing. So long-term effects of the time that you're putting in with your children right now, it makes a difference. They're out of school. I think everybody's out of school now. They're on summer vacation. So they're putting in some time with your kids, following them in their sports that they're pursuing. I know you still got vacations to get to, but it has long-term effects, and that is a good time, so you're planting the seeds in young people's lives, not just your kids, but other kids that you go out there and support. It makes, long-term effects in that. So I'm gonna get back to that, but also I want to talk about, guys, we are doing real good. Here in the state of Ohio, I've been talking about it over a year of trying to crush out this coronavirus, continue to do the right thing. Again, I still wear my mask in public. I can't tell you what to do or not to do. I ask you to, use your judgment, but continue to, let's take care of one another, be safe. Still, you don't have to get into large groups of people, unless it's a sporting event, but overall, just be smart. I hope everyone's vaccinated and things of that nature. Let's continue to stomp out the coronavirus so we don't have any relapses or anything of that nature. Also, we're talking about stomping things out, continue to stomp out systematic racism. I think everyone do your part, and then together as a whole, we'll be fine. We will be fine. Just continue to do that, and you make that change. I can make that change as well. So that's my job, is just to remind you of all the little things that you have a tendency to overlook, but that's okay. We're going to, get this together, and you have to identify the problem before you can solve the problem. So the problem is racism in all shapes and forms. Let's together come together to stomp it out. No reason for that at any time in life, and especially not in July of 2021. So my question of the day, let me get to that part of the show. The question of the day. Oh, man. I've been thinking about this question since last week, and it's been in the news. So The Olympics, you guys, Olympics, last year was an Olympic year, but we're going to have an Olympics in 2021. It didn't happen in 2020 in Tokyo. And Shakira Richardson, she, the women's 100-meter, champion in the Olympic trials. She won a spot on the Olympic team. Is going to be her first Olympics. The first sprinter, I guess we've really been excited about. We've always been excited. I don't mean it that way, but she was, having all the adulation since Florence Griffiths joined her. Probably not just by her speed on the track. She has the third fastest time by a woman. Florence Griffin Jordan had the top two fastest times. She has the third fastest time by a woman. And we're looking forward to her having her Olympic moment. But as we all know by now, she tested positive, for a banned substance, and that banned substance was marijuana. And this is not going to be a drug talk. Excuse me, by no means at all. But that's a banned substance that you can't have. And so the Olympic Committee suspended her. She was looking at between 1 and 3 months. So they suspended her for a month, which means she will not be running, the 100. And then yesterday it was announced that she's not even going to be on the Olympic team at all, because people were holding out hope that, maybe she could still run the relay team, the 4x1 relay, because they take the top 6 times from the Olympic trials to form the relay team. You don't make it as it's a team that goes to the 4x1. It's not in 4 individuals. It's one team, and the coach deems who's going to run what leg, first, second, third, or fourth. So 4 people will make it, and you have 2 alternates. And for, I guess, a little minor, they announced the Olympic team yesterday. Shakira Richardson's name was not on it, even though her 30-day suspension will be up by the time the 4x1 relay comes up. So really my question is, I had the original question, should she be suspended? The short answer is yes, she should be suspended. She broke the rules. Rules are rules. Even though there's an exception to every rule, but she broke the rules. She admitted, not trying to skirt that. But her suspension would be up, and the Olympics still would be going on. So why are we still punishing her? She's taking her punishment. And so we're going to punish her even after her 30 days are suspended. Is that fair or unfair? I personally think it's unfair. She's going to do the time. That sounds like a, jail time, but it's, it's her career, in the balance. So she's going to, serve the 30 days. I'm not trying to get out of that, but, why can't she, the rest of my best thing is why can't she run still, on the 4x relay team if the coach, puts her on there? I think the punishment is just too harsh. And I think that that's wrong, and she should still be an Olympian. It's not like the Olympics happens every year. It's every 4 years. And I am not excusing her mistake. She made a big mistake. And not only, the mistake is you can't smoke marijuana. I personally have never done a drug a day in my life. And I'm just saying. But the rules. It wasn't like it was a surprise rules. But I'm just going to state her case. Shakari, I'm thinking of the singer, Shakari Richardson. She found out, she was in Oregon during Olympic trial. She found out her mother passed. And a reporter told her, it wasn't like a family member, prepared her. A reporter was interviewing her and told her, so, you're speaking of someone who's lost their parents and lost their mother. I understand the mental mindset that Shakira Richardson was in. Doesn't excuse what she did by going and doing some drugs, but she was in a bad headspace. She's in a state where it's legal to smoke marijuana. She smoked marijuana. She didn't try to hide it, and that was the reason why she did it. And was that a bad decision? Of course. And I think the Olympic Committee ought to, judge everybody on the case by, and you got to have universal rules. I get it. But there has to be a room for an exception. But if you don't give her exception, I'm okay with that because like I said earlier, rules are rules. I understand it. But man, that's a harsh penalty to pay. And if she's going to pay it, which she's acknowledged, she's going to pay it. And that's, I think the court of public opinion, it can, it's not like it's a law. It's difference between rules and laws. She didn't break the law. She broke a rule. And the same people who sets a rule can change the rule. I just think it's a really harsh penalty, for somebody breaking a rule. Not the law, but a rule. That's my take on it. Feel free, to text me or tweet me or call in, with that or discuss it amongst yourself. What do you think? I'm gonna put my producer on the line for a quick 30 seconds. Justin, what do you about that? Do you think she should be suspended or not? Yes or no? You agree or disagree?
I've been in the minority on this one. I've been a little cutthroat with it when I said yes. I think that I'm fine with the suspension, mainly just because I hate to sound like that person that, the rules are rules. I get why people get annoyed with that very generic response, but it's just one of those where when you are fighting so hard for something and she's training, she is such amazing athlete, but you even being a former athlete, there's certain things that you knew you had to keep yourself out of if you wanted to remain an Ohio State Buckeye, or when you were in high school, you knew that there were certain things you had to do and avoid to make sure you can get to that next level to get to Ohio State before you could even think about an NFL. And had you messed up, had you done drugs, had you got caught doing whatever, that would have been solely on you. And you would have been so much that you would have lost for that. I just feel like this is a situation where it's not that people keep trying to make it, well, it's a dumb rule, the weed, there's so many states where it's legal, but it's just one of those discipline things where it's like you have to have the discipline. If you're fighting so hard, clearly she has the discipline to train and to compete and to be as excellent as she is. Right. But, what makes it tough is the reasoning for why she did it. I've never lost someone that close to me. Like I've lost, friends, family, friends and stuff, but no one within my family for me to know how I would react in that situation.
We all react differently.
So I can't sit there and be on my high horse and say, don't do it like this is like Dare or like this is an after school special. But it's unfortunate. If I apply for a job and I know that they drug test and I fail a drug test, that's on me. I can't sit there and say, well, that's not fair. I think that's a little harsh. So this is one of those exact topics where I now know what it's like to be in the middle on something where I feel strongly on both sides. Like I get both sides of the argument. I just don't like when this topic turns into a debate amongst people because I've seen it get heated between people. And I'm like, this really doesn't need to turn heated. It's just a simple, kind of where you at with the
I'm in agreement with you. I just think that we just have to know there's a difference. Breaking the law and breaking the rule are two different things. And every country has their own set of laws, and when it comes to sports, they have their own set of rules in sports. They have Canadian football where you can go in motion, send more than two guys in motion. That's their rules. American football, you're going to put one guy in motion. That's our rules. They're both playing football. So Shakira, she broke a rule. She didn't break the law. She broke a rule. Does that mean, and the punishment is whatever the rule makers decide it should be? So that means you can also change it. You can tell me.
But why change? Because then everyone will say, well, I'm such an amazing athlete that if I break this rule, I'm so good that they'll change the outcome as long as I don't break it. Like baseball players that, with the steroid usage, like we vilify the athletes when they use steroids in baseball. But like this situation, we're just saying, well, we need to change the rule because she's so good at it. I think it's because it's the once every 4 years. Like it's not like it's every year where the Olympics.
But if your favorite player, we're going to talk about the NBA finals right now for a sec, we get there. But if your favorite player breaks curfew and breaks a team rule the night before the game, are you going to bench him? No, he broke a team rule, and that team determines what the punishment will be. Not the NBA, David Stern, and those guys. The commissioner won't. This player broke curfew and he won't be able to play in game 2. Like, come on, stop it. That's not your bailiwick. So the United States Olympic Committee, it's not a law about it. They set rules. So you can, bend those rules or not. it's not like it's etched in stone.
Is that a good practice to follow? To just so you can't smoke weed. We just urge you not to smoke weed.
Well, no, but that depends. Like I off air, we were talking about this subject a little bit. When Usain Bolt was running for the Jamaican team, if Usain Bolt would have broken a Jamaican rule, he was still going to run in the Olympics. All of the adulation he brought to that country, they were not going to bench him based on him breaking a rule. Not a law, he broke a rule. I'm just saying hypothetically, if he had broken a rule, he was still going to be there because they want to put forth their best. Shakira Richardson is one of our best, the best in the 100. We're punishing her because she broke a rule. Tom Brady breaks curfew the night before the Super Bowl. He's playing in the Super Bowl. Tampa Bay is going to discipline him whatever way they see fit. So I'm thinking the discipline is too harsh for
How come we don't say this? The discipline's too harsh for like a Josh Gordon, very same situation.
I'm sure they broke a rule. They changed a lot for him. But now you're talking about the NFL is involved now.
But same thing. He didn't break a law.
But the Cleveland Browns had disciplined him, as well as Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. The list goes on and on. He did face discipline, but they still let him get on the field. And he kept breaking it.
And she could still keep running in the Olympics. She just has to face the suspension.
No. But look at Belichick. He benched the starting cornerback for the Super Bowl, and they lost to the Eagles.
Malcolm
Butler. It happens sometimes. But that's individual court, making those decisions. For something like this, let's ask the track coach, for the Olympic track coach, whoever that is, I can't think of their name, do they want to bench him? It ain't his call. It's over his head. So she shouldn't be benched.
Where are you at with the Reggie Bush? I found these scenarios very kind of similar a little bit, where with Reggie Bush wanting his Heisman back and he wanted his stats restored, because now what he basically got all that taken away from and penalized for is because now with name, image, and likeness, now he wouldn't technically have broken any rules had that rule been in place back then. And I'm in the minority when I say I'm not like going to lose sleep if he gets his Heisman back. But at the same time, you broke a rule. Why are we constantly, like, when people break a rule, we sit there and we talk about how, poor them versus, well, just follow. I mean, again, I sound like that annoying person on Twitter and Facebook that, well, rules are rules. If you don't do anything wrong, you don't have to worry about it. I'm not trying to be that guy, but it's the same thing where we forget the fact that, you make irresponsible decisions, and then instead of holding them accountable for it, we turn them into, oh man, I can't believe they're doing this to you. Well, it's like, I can't believe you did that in the first place, knowing what the potential outcome could be of the punishment.
No, that's a tough question. I think he should have it. No, you can't. The rules have to, he lost his Heisman Trophy. They would have never got the original one out of my hand. That would have. What I like. They would have back to begin with. No, just y'all better go make another one, because this one is never coming out of my hand. And they didn't give the runner-up the Heisman Trophy. So if some news comes out that Doug Flutie did something wrong at Boston College, 37 years ago, and now we're going to name Keith Byars the Heisman Trophy. Yes, I want my freaking trophy. I want it. I should have had it last time. But in the same vein, I'm okay with the stats not being restored, but they should say, since they didn't give it to the runner-up, it's just that Reggie Bush was Heisman Trophy winner in 2000 or whatever it was. Give it to him. I mean, and invite him. You don't even have to invite him back to all the Heisman pomp and the ceremonies and things of that nature. Just acknowledge he won the Heisman Trophy, and let bygones be bygones. That's what I would do. I think he deserves, he won it on the field. You can't take it away, and you took it away from him off the field. And I think it would be too much to rewrite all that history. Just the short answer, he's the Heisman Trophy winner that year, and be done with it. No more asterisks of that nature. Now, he doesn't have to have his stats restored, which you saw that. We know that he was a great player no matter what. He was there. So, I'm definitely, okay, with that. But we're in a new era, the one we've never seen before. Now, the Olympic Committee is saying now we're going to revisit our policies after this. So they already know it's not 100% correct. So they have a time to correct it, not 3 years later when the next Olympics comes along. Do justice now, because Olympic athletes, this is their one shot of glory every 4 years. That's why what happened last year with the pandemic being, delayed a year, that just, even, hurt them even more.
But is it that crazy that the Olympics says we don't want our Olympic athletes smoking weed? Like, are we really that angry at the Olympics for having that standard? And I'm not saying that you're like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but
that's what I find crazy about it, is like we are literally we find it insane that the Olympics is asking that.
But it used to be the Olympics was all about amateurism and not getting paid. So they got past that by letting professionals into it. So if you're already saying we're allowing professionals, and they've been allowing professionals in for almost close to 30 years, ever since the Dream Team. And even though one would say a lot of those foreign countries was already using professionals, the Russians and East Germans, for a long time. But nevertheless, if you're going to allow professionals in there, like we got golfers in this year, tennis players, it's time to change.
3-on-3 basketball and all that crazy.
Yeah.
You were in Ohio State. How often did you get drug tested at Ohio State?
Well, drug testing was real new at Ohio State when I got there. I think we may have gotten drug tested once a year. Depends on who you were. And if you had some other the dirty test,
reputation,
you're going to get tested a few more times. But
so
and it was volunteer.
But
it was mandatory volunteer.
So yeah, it's like minicamp, right?
Right.
In this situation, let's say Keith, that if you get caught smoking weed while you're at Ohio State, you know what the repercussions are, but you take the risk anyways. Ohio State, let's say you get to a national championship game and you fail the drug test. For one, Ohio State probably wouldn't drug test before a national championship game. Let's just be clear.
No, but I'll say this. I'll say this. Drug testing at Ohio State, 30 plus years ago is different. I mean, it was strictly a football team. It wasn't all the other sports. I don't know. A lot of them didn't drug test. Some of them did. So it wasn't a universal. It never came down from the athletic department. This is what we're doing. Earl Bruce handled all that. It was when the few times we took a drug test. It came from internal. And I'll share this story real quick. We got to go to break.
You're good.
My senior year, we were the number 3 rated team in the country. We're 8-1. And we have our last home game was against Wisconsin. And next week we have the team up north. I was here, I'm coming out, I have a broken foot, and I was a week to week, day to day. I knew I couldn't play, so I couldn't play. I warmed up against Wisconsin. I couldn't play. So I didn't play in that last home game of my senior year. Well, the night before, 2 of our starters, I'm not going to name names, but 2 of our starters ordered some rum in their room. They ordered room service with alcohol. And Bruce found out about it and suspended him from the game. We wake up for the game on Saturday morning and we find out 2 of our starters aren't playing. So what a distraction. The day of the game, we find out we're doing what? Bruce brings me and other captains in his room, told us what happened. I'm benching them. And, me, Pepper Johnson, and Mike Lanise, our mouths are just on the floor like, what? No, are we going to talk about this? It was like, no. I'm just letting you guys are my captains. I'm telling you what I'm going to do, and it's done. I done already got rid of them. They're not playing today. But we got a game in a few hours. And now you're going to drop this bombshell on us?
All college kids drink.
Yeah, But
I'm right now, Coach.
We lost the game, and after the game, we're in the locker room. And because it was a distraction. It was. You don't do that.
I'm sure, it deflates the room.
Yeah, you're in the locker room. We got a game, and the guys are talking about, so and so ain't playing. What? We should be focused on there. So it was a bad judgment called by my head coach. So after the game, we get in the locker room.
So it wasn't a bad judgment from the teammates who snuck rum into the room.
Yeah, no, they didn't sneak for him. They called room service.
Separation between us.
They called room service. They made a dumb call. I love them, but they wasn't the brightest moment.
It's always the one handed down the punishment that we're saying is wrong.
Jeez, but we don't have any rules to say you can't do that. There's some rules are universal.
Yep.
You don't. Why would you?
So you want that goalpost to be moved from time to time?
Oh my gosh! So Earl Bruce goes on to say, he makes a couple comments after the game like he normally does, but he doesn't normally say anybody got anything to say. And so he say reference, anybody have any comments, anybody you guys want anything to say? Because he brought up the 2 players that he suspended. And when he said anybody got anything to say, and he was about to say something else, okay, let's get in here and, say a prayer. No, I excuse me, coach, me. I got something to say. And I got up and I told him he was wrong in front of the whole team. I said, what those 2 guys did was terribly wrong. But you didn't just punish them, you punished us. You punished the team. And I said, you don't cut your nose off to spite your face. I said, you should have woke their butt up at 6 o'clock in the morning for the next week and run them till their tongues run out. But you punished, you hurt us, but not just hurting those guys. You punished the whole team, and you were wrong for that. And Earl didn't like me saying it, but I didn't say it behind his back. I didn't go to reporters and saying it. I said it to his face. And I said it to him, amongst the brotherhood, the guys in our locker room. You shouldn't have done that. That was wrong.
The 2 that made the mistake, did they feel angst from you guys? Like, were you mad at them?
Oh, yeah.
Because I'd be pissed at them.
Them too. They got it too from us. But there's a time and a place from everything. That was not the time or the place at all.
But don't you think it got your teammates' attention? Like, oh, man. All right, I ain't going to be sneaking around doing this anymore because holy crap, he means business. Like, you don't think that?
Oh,
like
no question. Yes, but that's not the time.
Okay.
That's not the time. There's a time. I mean, you're talking starters, not guys that
not the Kenners.
Exactly. You just don't do that at that time. And I didn't feel it was justified then, and I don't feel it was justified now. Because imagine this fall. One of somebody from Ohio State is about to play a big game, and this is a boneheaded decision. I'm not excusing what was wrong. Of course it was wrong. And we're like, wait a minute, you didn't play him because of what?
Well, Chase Young's the latest one that I remember everyone lost their minds about.
Right.
And I kept saying, well, you're right. It's he got suspended 2 games. Luckily, it was against Rutgers and Maryland. But I say he got suspended 2 games over something stupid. But if it's something stupid, why would the player do something stupid to risk being out games and hurting his team? So then I got bashed for that too. Like Buckeye people did not love me during that stretch because I was like, well, I think Chase Young is pretty dumb for even risking that. Why would you risk? I know it's a dumb rule. I'll never say it's not a dumb rule. I think it's dumb that she's not going to be able to race in the Olympics because of this. But at the same time, I mean, it's back to that stupid, annoying.
Oh boy,
rules are rules, but because I'm perfect, Keith. I've never broken a rule.
I know you told Jesus.
Jesus, we will hold hands and walk side by side. I'm telling you. But anyways, back to you.
All right. Well, let's go to break. It's a good time to go to break. We'll talk more after the break. You've been listening to Keith Byars Radio Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. It's time to pull over and get you some Lee's. So get some before we come back. See you after the break.
It's the Keith Byars Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, right here on Dayton's home of the Buckeyes, 1410 ESPN Radio.
Basketball fans, watch the NBA Finals live with YouTube TV. Get live TV from 85-plus top channels, including ABC, ESPN, Disney, and Nat Geo. Watch the live sports, local news, and shows you love with unlimited DVR storage included. YouTube TV brings crystal clear HD live TV streaming to all your favorite devices. No cable boxes, no long-term contracts. Set up in minutes. Find out more at YouTubeTV.com. YouTube TV. Try it free. Terms apply.
So the dream was to build your very own law practice. Be your own boss, call all the shots. But have things like billing, HR, timekeeping, and all the other management stuff turned your dream into a nightmare? Take charge of your practice with Lexicon. We're the intersection of practice management software and legal support services for your firm. You'll get more billable and livable hours back. Lexicon marks the spot for all your practice management needs. Visit lexiconservices.com/intersection to get the whole story or schedule a demo.
There's nothing better than a fresh-made home-style meal, but not everyone loves the hassle of cooking. At Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, home-style happens here with our famous 12-piece family meal at a great price. This famous family meal includes 12 mixed pieces of Lee's fresh, never-frozen chicken that is honey-dipped, hand-breaded, and cooked to perfection, plus 3 large sides and 6 fluffy biscuits. Get a home-style meal made easy today with Lee's 12-piece family meal at a great price. Only at Lee's, famous for chicken.
Want free Reds tickets? How about a free MLB Network Reds bag? Maybe a Reds bobblehead? Here's an idea. How about we combine them all together and give you a chance to win a free WING Reds prize pack presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. Register daily at wingam.com.
Staples is evolving to Staples Connect, a new world of possible with innovative tools for small business and remote workers and learners. Explore what's new at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com.
There's nothing better than a fresh-made home-style meal, but not everyone loves the hassle of cooking. At Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, home-style happens here with our famous 12-piece family meal at a great price. This famous family meal includes 12 mixed pieces of Lee's fresh, never-frozen chicken that is honey-dipped, hand-breaded, and cooked to perfection, plus 3 large sides and 6 fluffy biscuits. Get a home-style meal made easy today with Lee's 12-piece family meal at a great price. Only at Lee's, famous for chicken.
O'Reilly. If you're ready for an oil change, trust the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the best products for your car. Right now, get 5 quarts of Valvoline full synthetic motor oil and a Wix filter for $33.99. Plus, get a $10 gift card after mail-in rebate and double O rewards points. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
O'Reilly. When it's a warm day and your car's AC is blowing hot air, you need some relief. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and talk to our professional parts people about AC Pro refrigerant recharge kits for your vehicle. Buy now and you'll get a $15 gift card after mail-in rebate. Keep cool this summer with AC Pro refrigerant at O'Reilly Auto Parts, in store or at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Wendy's only makes one kind of breakfast, your new favorite one. How do we do it? With fresh cracked eggs, oven-baked bacon, and flaky croissants. You know, the things your old breakfast wasn't doing. So toss that old news and its soggy eggs somewhere useful. And get to Wendy's, where the sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant, bacon, egg, and Swiss croissant, and honey butter chicken biscuit are just 2 for $4. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's 2 for $4.
Limited time only. Single item at regular price. Price and participation may vary at U.S. Wendy's.
Drive-by birthday parties, virtual weddings. In a world full of things you never thought possible, here's one more. Now you can get Allstate's quality insurance at an affordable rate. When you bundle your home and auto, you'll save up to 25%. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company, Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company, and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Sadness and misery, I don't feel either of these. I'm in a good mood.
Okay.
Hey, man, what's wrong?
Well, it just didn't sound very bluesy.
He's probably happy because he found out Honey Nut Cheerios can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet.
Oh, hey, Buzz.
Okay, well, let's try it again.
Smile on my face.
Nope, that's still happy.
Have a change of heart with Honey Nut Cheerios. Learn more about Honey Nut Cheerios by picking up a box at your local store.
Cordell Transportation is now hiring Class A CDL drivers. $5,000 sign-on bonus. That's right, $5,000 sign-on bonus. Home daily dedicated lanes, no-touch freight. Apply today at CordellTransportation.com. Cordell Transportation, driven to succeed.
Power your passions for less during Dell's exceptional Black Friday in July event. Enjoy up to $400 off high-performance Dell XPS laptops and desktops, along with next-level Alienware systems, all powered by Intel Core processors. Shop special prices on stunning Dell monitors, top brand electronics and accessories, plus enjoy free shipping on everything. Don't forget to ask for Intel when you call 800 by Dell. That's 800 by Dell.
For the ones who get going when the going gets tough. And the ones who know we're tougher together. For the Pathfinders breaking new ground. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as fast access to experts and 24/7 customer support. Because we know you have people depending on you, so you can always depend on us. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Don't overpay for glasses. Get 2 pairs and a free exam for just $69.95. That's not just a better deal, it's America's best. Book your exam online today.
He's a former Buckeyes great and now college football Hall of Famer. And don't forget about his 13 years of NFL experience playing for the Eagles, Dolphins, Jets, and the New England Patriots. He's Dayton's own Keith Byars. Hang out with him every Monday at noon on the Keith Byars Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Excuse me. I know you have a 9 o'clock, so I'll keep this short. I'm the business suit in the back of your closet. You wore me nearly every day before your office went, quote, casual. I used to be the CEO of your closet. Now I'm just that one intern no one ever talks to. I always thought you'd circle back with me, get granular, keep me in the pipeline. But nada, nothing. Don't you remember the McKittrick presentation? You spilled coffee on me, and I still looked amazing during the breakout talkback Q&A. So I think it's time for me to move on. I've got a great resume, and I absolutely crush it in interviews, okay? Let's make this a clean break. Shift the paradigm. The only thing I ask is that you think outside the box here and do this. Take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create new jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff, create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Whoa, long time no see. It's me, the Rock t-shirt in the back of your closet. Dude, remember? You crowd surfed in me, man. But you haven't worn me in like forever. I get it, you're retired, but I still got some rock left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff, create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
It's the Keith Byars Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, right here on Dayton's home of the Buckeyes, 1410 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Keith Byars Radio Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. Hopefully you got a chance to pull over and get you some chicken, that is, during the break. Even after the break, you can still feel free to go to pick you up some Lee's. At the top of the show, I was talking about, you parents, and it's important to spending time, with your kids and the kids in your neighborhood during their sports season, during the summer, because they're out of school and they're playing AAU basketball, baseball, they're going to football camps and soccer, you name it, they're doing it. And you get an opportunity to spend some good quality time, with your kids and even their friends and their friends' friends and all that good stuff. It took me back to, with my kids, they're grown now. My kids, I have 2 kids. I have a daughter that's 30. No, she's not 30. She's 29. And a son is 26. And a stepdaughter that's 13. So they're all growing up. But son, I still remember, coming here in the summer. I was living in Florida at the time and bringing him up to spend time with his family here in Dayton, his grandma and all that, uncles and aunts and cousins. And right before his freshman year in high school, he told me, he said, "Hey, Dad, this is the last summer that I'll be, I'll be in high school, because after that, in 4 years, I'll be gone." I was like, wow. The summer before his freshman year, he made that comment to me. And I was like, yeah, so basically like, Dad, enjoy these next 4 years, with me. And in the summertime, we going all over the place, whether going to Kings Island and Cedar Point and just spending time with him, during the sports season of the summer. And it has long-term, effects on you. And I thought back to my younger years, playing sports in the summer, looking in the crowd, knowing I can always see, my mother and father at my baseball games. And it makes a difference, because the friendships and the bond that you make during those years as a player and even as parents, they have long-term effects. And when I first started playing at first Dayton Little League, here in Dayton, and all the people who came into my life at that time, and we're still friends, 30 years later, 40 years later, 40 plus years later. And we talk about those days of summer, back in the 70s and the 80s. And they just have long-term memories, so that these kids today, the summers of the 2020s, they're going to talk about for the rest of their lives. And you as a parent, is going to be a part of those discussions. So don't take it lightly. Enjoy it, because they'll be sitting around a campfire someday talking about these days of summer, what they were doing. Because when I get with my buddies, that's what we do. And there's a bond that we built together over these summer months, growing up during your formative years, your hormones are, raging, and, your body's changing on you every year. But the same friendships that you meet and the same guys that you've been knowing all these years, comes back, together. I mean, when I was at first Dayton Little League at even age 12, we had some great role models there, too many coaches for me to start naming. I have named a couple. God rest his soul, Alvin Freeman, was president of First Dayton Little League, one of my coaches, Mr. Alsop, Steve Crane, Mr. White. The league names goes on and on. But one thing they taught us one little slogan, that was like, when I was 12 years old, we was playing in the tournament, and we went to the state of Ohio, and then you have an opportunity to go to Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and go to the Little League World Series. We wanted to do that, and that was our goal. And the Little League World Series will be on television sometime in August. And every year I watch the Little League World Series. I'm like, man, I wanted to play in that when I was a kid. I really wanted to go to Williamsport and play in Little League World Series. But it was a little slogan that we learned. That was like my little rallying cry as a 12-year-old. And I still remember it as a 57-year-old. And when I'm with my buddies, we laugh and joke. And remember we said that little slogan we said, and we still say it. And I've even taught it to my kids and different players and kids I've coached over the years. I'm just going to say it to you real quick before we wrap up the show. Like I said, our goal was to go to Williamsport, Pennsylvania. So we used to be in the dugout, saying, to succeed, it takes togetherness. Togetherness makes unity. Unity makes success. Success is our goal. Our goal is Williamsport. And I've used that slogan many times in my life, and I've used it as a coaching thing. And the only thing I change is my goal is Williamsport. And I just say now, to succeed, it takes togetherness. Togetherness makes unity. Unity makes success. Success is our goal. Our goal is what? To be successful. And whatever you choose to do in life, that's what you want to be successful at it. Whatever you do positively in life, you want to be successful at it. And those are the ingredients for success is unity and togetherness. That's how you be successful. That's how you be successful in life. That's how you be successful in stumping out systematic racism. That's how you be successful in stomping out coronaviruses. Those things are the key ingredients to success. And I learned a lot of those formulas, you know, in the summertime, you know, with your coaches and your family. And it truly takes a village to raise a child. And, you know, I was a part of that village that helped raise me. I had two of the greatest parents in the world anybody could ever ask for. I had that in my home. But when I stepped out of my home, that's when my village was there. They surrounded me with great coaches and teachers and educators and positive role models that my parents kept people like that allowed me to be in those presence of people and coaches and teachers and friends that were going to help point me in the right direction. So you parents are in that position right now. Look out for your kids and be that positive role model to help steer them in the right direction along with their friends as well. So enjoy these summer months because trust me, they go fast. Sometimes I would love to rewind the clock, on my kids to if they can go back to 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old to spend more time with them at these formative years because they're special. Enjoy them while you can. Enjoy the rest of your day. You've been listening to the Keith Byars Radio Show presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. See you next week.
It's the Keith Byars Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, right here on Dayton's home of the Buckeyes, 1410 ESPN Radio. WING 1410 Dayton's ESPN Radio.
Right now is react to game one and more so in the finals.